AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. The FBI released the first surveillance images showing a masked person with what looks like a handgun holster on Nancy Guthrie's porch in Arizona, the night the 84-year-old mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie went missing more than a week ago. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump has been following the search.
His initial reaction, of course, as all Americans, is just pure disgust. And again, it's heartbreaking to see now this footage really bring to life a story we've all been reading about.
The video shows the person wearing a backpack and a ski mask with holes for the eyes and mouth walking up to the door of the home. The person is seen trying to cover a doorbell camera near the front door with a gloved hand and part of a plant they ripped from the yard. A former FBI agent says this will get the phone ringing for lots of potential leads. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick acknowledged he met with Jeffrey Epstein twice after the late financier's 2008 conviction for soliciting prostitution from a child. It's a reversal of Lutnick's previous claim he cut ties with Epstein after 2005.
So 6 years later, I met him, and then a year and a half after that, I met him, and never again. Probably the total, and you've seen all of these documents, of these millions and millions of documents, there may be 10 emails.
The Commerce Secretary told senators he and his family actually had lunch with Epstein on his private island in 2012 and had another hour-long engagement at Epstein's home in 2011. The Trump administration has stopped flying a rainbow flag at the Stonewall National Monument in New York City. Olympic redemption will have to wait for Michaela Schifrin. The American skiing standout was given the ideal platform to win gold in the new team combined event at the Milan Cortina Games, but she finished 15th in her leg of the race and dropped the U.S. to 4th place. This is AP News. The FDA is reassessing the use of BHA, a chemical commonly used in some food products,
including potato chips, cereals, frozen meals, and meat products. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has issued a new request for information regarding the chemical butylated hydroxyanisole, which is used widely as a preservative. The review will consider whether BHA is safe as currently used in food and food contact surfaces. Some studies show BHA causes cancer in rats, mice, and hamsters. Health advocates have urged consumers to avoid the chemical. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Shoppers unexpectedly paused their spending in December from November, closing out the holiday shopping season and the year on a lackluster tone. The report from the Commerce Department surprised economists who were looking for growth. The report was delayed because of the 43-day government shutdown. More information at apnews.com. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care. Are you or someone you know living with a mental illness? Have you experienced abuse or neglect, denial of services, or discrimination because of a mental illness or disability? You have rights. NMPOSSE is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, and we're here for you. Individuals diagnosed with mental illness have human, civil, and legal rights under federal and local law. No one should be mistreated, denied services, or discriminated against because of a disability. NMPOSSE's PIME program provides protection and advocacy for individuals with mental illness. and provides information about your rights, advocacy and assistance for eligible individuals, and support in cases involving abuse, neglect, or discrimination. Services are confidential and provided at no cost to eligible individuals. To learn more, call NM Posse today at 670-235-7273 or 7274 or email gborja@nmposse.org.
Hey bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live. And that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
Alarm clock bark, sky still gray, radio clicks on, static haze. Good morning, Marianas, in my face. Brad yelling, wake up, Saipan, no escape. Coffee burns my He laughs in my kitchen, talks like he knows every bruise that I am in. Good morning, Marianas. Rise up, Saipan. Hearts on the harbor, headlines in his hand. Good morning, Marianas. Life from the reef to the ridge. Bread with the weather and a dare on the bridge. Traffic on Beach Road. Kids half dressed. He jokes about rain and unpaid rent. Says call the show, tell me what you regret. Then plays our song like a second chance bet. He says say your name, we say it like a prayer. Through busted speakers we are almost there. Good morning, Marianas. Rise up, Saipan. Shacks and condos all sing with the fan. Good morning, Marianas. Old scars, new daylight. Brad talks nonsense, somehow gets it right. Who is this voice in my cracked dashboard? Why does it feel like he is keeping score of every tired island soul dragged out of bed? Every maybe I will make it spinning in my head. Good morning, Marianas. Rise up, Saipan. Bad roads, good stories, all part of the plan. Good morning, Marianas. Yeah, shout it again. Brad says you are awake, so start living it then.
Are you or someone you know living with a mental illness? Have you experienced abuse or neglect, denial of services, or discrimination because of a mental illness or disability? You have rights. NM Posse is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, and we're here for you. Individuals diagnosed with mental illness have human, civil, and legal rights under federal and local law. No one should be mistreated, denied services, or discriminated against because of a disability. NM Posse's PIME program provides protection and advocacy for individuals with mental illness and provides information about your rights, advocacy, and assistance for eligible individuals, and support in cases involving abuse, neglect, or discrimination. Services are confidential and provided at no cost to eligible individuals. To learn more, call NM Posse today at 670-235-7273 or 7274 or email gborja@nmposse.org.
Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it. Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it.
All right, good morning, Marianas. Holy cow, it is 7:54 in the morning, and I'll tell you what, we dragged a little bit on some of this stuff as we received some breaking news that was happening out there in the Marianas today. Outside of that breaking news, I want to say good morning, welcome to you and everything like that. But we want to give you a little bit of a heads up. Traffic in Middle Road was backed up for a bit this morning, and the reason being is because of the same reason why we ended up getting that viewer video, and we're about to go to traffic. But it appears that there was an auto pedestrian accident that happened in Puerto Rico. The first responders were on the road performing chest compressions on the victim in the northbound lane, the outermost northbound lane, and that is what is causing all the traffic over there. They have brought the victim to the hospital, got confirmation on that, and we're going to follow up on this story. We are just getting that. It's an auto pedestrian confirmed by folks from DFEMS and from DPS over by Shell gas station. We're waiting for more of that info to come in. Again, got confirmation that they took the victim to CHCC, and they just pulled into the hospital about 7 minutes ago, and about like 13 minutes ago, and now we're waiting to find out what happened. So they are going to provide information for us, and we'll keep you guys updated. So if you see it on the social media, we got that out to you so you guys can see it as well. But it looks, it was definitely stunning images, seeing our first responders performing chest compressions in the middle of the road, trying to save someone's life in action. So, hey, while you guys have your regular day going to work, anything could be happening while you're worried about whatever. Just get there safe. And also think about those guys in law enforcement and first responders who are there trying to save people's lives every day. It's not just words, so they're doing it. And I'll tell you what, those guys who had to do that, there's no way you're emotionally disconnected from that. They're in. Their adrenaline's pumping just as much because they know what they're doing. They're not filling out paperwork, and they're not, checking email right there. That is in the moment, knowing exactly what you're doing is what you're giving that person a life-saving treatment right there on the road. So hats off to those officers who I'm sure riding an adrenaline rush, and then they're going to get that crash afterwards. But they'll tell you it's all in a day's work because they're really humble. But I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a thing. So we're praying for the person who was struck, and we hope that they are able to recover, and we hope that they're able to. Hopefully they'll be able to get the further treatment that they need at the hospital. But that's what happened. That's why we're a little bit of a toe drag, a little bit late on this one today, getting all that info as it was happening. So you could see, like, when we started the show at the very beginning of the video, you see, like, I picked up the phone, and that's what that was. So thanks to viewers like you for providing that kind of info, providing photos and videos of those things, because you get to see our guys, our men and women in action, who are out there protecting the Commonwealth one day at a time, one shift at a time, one incident at a time. They don't get to control how that stuff works. They were out there doing that to try to save someone's life this morning. So we are going to get more info, and we'll make sure we continue to post it throughout today. All right, that's the biggest thing going on with traffic, but let's get you down to see the rest of what's happening out there on the roads today. It is tough. It is the rush hour right now, but let's get out there and show you the rest of the roads instead of getting to the weather and stuff. That's the current sitch over there. You can see that's why all the traffic going through is going to be slow. I mean, it is a scene. They're doing an active investigation between the vehicle and everything out there. My goodness, I'm even looking at the ticker. I didn't even update that because we were all into it. So, folks, when you're out there, be careful, be mindful of everyone who's out there on the roads today, because, it could be you guys. So just be careful. Man, I'm a little, shook seeing that stuff, It's sad to see someone who's part of our community out there getting that kind of treatment. But, all right, let's get back to it. So let's go down and see the rest of the road. You see folks making their way north along Middle Road by the American Memorial Park, and the tennis courts and pickleball courts are going to be a little bit slowed as well. And you're going to get it mostly by the intersections. Everywhere else seems to be pretty good all along the road. The old AK, the intersection that matters, at the place where connections matter. IT&E looking good this morning as well. Those folks are just sitting there by the lights. Over there by the schools, everything looking good. Remember, school's opening up for the high schools in an hour. It's right 9 o'clock. Over there by Shell, Dan, everything looks good. A little bit of traffic over there by the college, but nothing out of the ordinary. San Vicente looking pretty good by the home of the Canaries as we scroll around Back Island Road and back down through Puerto Rico. And it looks like the traffic has cleared up at the scene of that incident. So first responders have gotten traffic underway again. So if you were held up earlier, that's what that was all about. Oh my gosh. Well, while you're out there on the roads, you can see really well when you got brand new lights and great cameras all over your car from AK Toyota, whether it's a 2026 Corolla, a Camry, Tacoma, Tundra, or more. They can get you everything that you need and help you with down payment assistance. They've only got $699 required to get a new Camry. Can you believe that right now? There are some conditions that apply, but you got to go down there and find out. Look at that down payment assistance on a Tacoma, $3,500, and it comes with 3 years of free service. My goodness, you can't beat that with a stick. Gotta love it. The good folks over there at AK Toyota, making your way every day. All right, let's get back to it. Good morning, Marianas. I'm telling you, that was one heck of a morning. There is so much going on. A lot of stuff. And again, thanks for the viewer video of that scene so people can actually get a look at what's happening out there right now. I want to say good morning to you guys and welcome you here as well. Toba Castro, tip man from Dan is here with us. Brenda Fujihira Hussein, welcome to the show. Good to see you again. Thanks so much for coming back this morning. And also, Toba, thanks for putting all the links and everything in there. Appreciate that, getting the word out there about the website and the social media stuff, the YouTube channels and all that kind of stuff, and reminding people, please like the post, like this show. Just click like, give us a good some love out there. Give us a comment. Tell us where you're watching from, and let us know if you got a question about anything that's going on out here on Hump Day in the Marianas. And man, Luisa Cabrera in the house. Speaking of Hump Day, she's out there. Happy Hump Day. She's even got the camel emoji in there. That's awesome. It's great. She says, today's National Latte Day. Brad, where are we going for coffee? Man, I'll tell you what, right there, my cup is done brewing. I just need to walk over there and get it and bring it back over here. In fact, that's worth hiring someone for right now, just so I can have someone hook a brother up with some coffee when I'm trying to get this thing done. I'm telling you, normally I got it ready. Not yet. I got to get over there this morning. Eric Mopnas, veteran brother. So great to see you out there, man, and see you out here. He says to everybody, good Wednesday morning, Brad, Marianas, and everyone listening to this wonderful station. Have a blessed and safe day. Drive safe and buckle up. God bless you and your family always. What a guy. Always with the nicest message. Tobot saying, kiss and love and hug your loved ones. Today's just another day, but we're all on Bauer time. That's true. True story, my friend. True story. Man, I'll tell you what, we do have, I know we got you everything that was happening, but we should have the newest one coming out. Let me just make sure if it is here. If it is, I'm going to throw it to you. If not, then I'll throw you some sports real quick. I got a sports update for you, and I want to get this to you because this will also let me go over there and get my coffee before we dig into local headlines, and we have some. So here you go, folks. Here's the latest sports news from Fox Sports.
Fox Sports Update.
Fans of 17th-ranked St. John's had to sweat it out on Monday, but the Red Storm kept their winning streak alive against Xavier.
Required overtime, but St. John's survives, and the Johnnies have won 10 in a row.
That was courtesy of FS1 as St. John's beat Xavier 87-82. Red Storm head coach Rick Pitino won his 904th career game, passing Roy Williams for the third most in Division I history.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
In the NBA, it got ugly Monday night between the Pistons and the Hornets. 4 players, Charlotte's Moussa Diabate and Miles Bridges, along with Detroit's Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart, were ejected after a fight broke out during the third quarter.
Oh goodness, now Miles and Durant and beats This is out of control. Oh, wow.
Sound courtesy of the FanDuel Sports Network as the Pistons beat the Hornets 110-104. Stewart left the bench to confront Bridges, and the two players tussled on the floor. Heading over to the NFL, San Francisco 49ers defensive lineman Keon White underwent surgery after being shot in the ankle early Monday morning. San Francisco police said they responded to a shooting a little after 4 a.m. and no arrests have been made. It's the second time in the last 18 months that a Niners player has been the victim of a shooting. Wide receiver Ricky Pearsall was shot in the chest during a robbery attempt in August 2024. And Clint Kubiak was officially announced as the next head coach of the Raiders on Monday after serving as offensive coordinator of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. The Raiders are coming off a rough year, going 3-14 and firing Pete Carroll after just one season, but they'll have a chance to land a franchise quarterback in April. Las Vegas owns the top pick of the NFL draft, with Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Fernando Mendoza the expected prize. For more scores, stories, and features, go to foxsports.com. I'm Joe Morgan.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
All right, Marianas, we're back now. That was your sports update as we slide back into our regular stuff this morning. Man, and more sirens going on behind us now. You can hear them whipping by. What do we got? That is a police cruiser. They're doing something else, but yeah, and just waiting. We're going to get those updates from either DFEMS or DPS, whoever gets there first, to give us a heads up on what's going on. Man, I've got to give you guys I want to share something to you of that we got about one of our friends and someone that we think really highly of, someone that we care about, someone that we've known for just such a long time. And, I mean, gosh, well over 20 years. Mark Tovez. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mark, but he is just a great person. And you know who's even greater, and he'll tell you, is his wife, Catherine Attal Tovez. And, I didn't even know he was sick. I know there was something going on with the family and some health stuff, and now it's a public thing. So it's not breaking news here or anything. But we've got, our friend is going through it now. And so there's not a whole lot that we're able to do. But, normally you don't see this kind of stuff like in the news. They have their own thing. They got their ads. It's just in Facebook stuff. But because, we got this platform, we're going to use it for things like this when we can. We've got it up on the website too. But, Jay Santos, who is on the show, he posted this about his friend. This is the GoFundMe page. We've got, here, let me get rid of some of that. Sorry about that. That was for the, for one of the other videos. I had to put that on. Boom, let's get rid of that. This is the actual GoFundMe page for him. But this was posted by Jay Santos. If you're not familiar with Mark, you're missing out. But let's read this. Mark Tovez, he's fighting stage 4 cancer. And here's the story. And I am going to read it. Just if you're not familiar with it, maybe this is your first time hearing this. And this is posted by Jay. He says, Mark's a beloved brother, father, husband, and son who's always been there for others. And now he and his family are facing an unexpected and difficult challenge, and we're reaching out for your support. It's been said many times over that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But since we're all baseball fans, we prefer a metaphor that we've been thrown a curveball. And in this instance, a Clayton Kershaw 12-6 curveball. My dear brother Mark has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Sometime last October, he was running a fever and thought of it as just catching a cold. Then he had discomfort in his bladder and challenges urinating, which required to visit the ER. Further tests and a biopsy done on Saipan confirmed that it was prostate cancer, so the next step was to get off island to seek the best care possible. Mark and his amazing wife, Catherine, left for Manila in the Philippines in early January and are now at St. Luke's Medical Center in Global City. Further tests have found that Mark has stage 4 prostate adenocarcinoma, M1 cancer, a rare type of prostate cancer that is more aggressive than normal prostate cancers. He has since had 2 successful surgeries where they were able to remove the tumors and the source of the cancer. However, it has started to spread into portions of his lungs, lymph nodes, and portions of the bones. Mark's now undergoing 2 types of chemotherapy, one intravenously every 21 days, and tablets, which he will take daily. Additionally, within the 21 days, Mark is given 3 separate injections. He's being closely monitored with consistent blood work and follow-up appointments. Indeed, a curveball that none of us expected, especially on someone who rarely catches a cold. We're asking for support to help ease the financial burden of Mark's illness and recovery. Funds raised will help cover medical copays and bills, ongoing treatment costs, and supportive care, along with everyday needs that become harder during long-term illness. Many of you know Mark as the consummate team player, always willing to help others, and more importantly, doing all he can to support his family. We sincerely ask that you please share this GoFundMe with Mark's former baseball and softball teammates and others who have been associated with Mark over the years. If you're able to give, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. If you're unable to donate, sharing this page will keep Mark, Catherine, and their kids in your prayers means more than we can say. Thank you. Dankulu Natsi Dusmasi, Gilisao, and Salamat Po. They're trying to raise $6,000. When this thing started, when I first saw it this morning, it just had, a couple $100 in there. And they're getting there. They're at $3,400. This guy means a lot to a lot of folks. This family means a lot to. I don't think you can count it. If you don't know Catherine was my nominee for Business Person of the Year. She turned it down because of everything that she's going through. She didn't even say that this is what they were going through. She just said, I got so much, I can't put it together. I'm doing this. So out of consideration, I just can't. I'm like, no kidding. She would have won Business Person of the Year, I think. I mean, apologies to Josh, because I think Josh is the best. Josh was well-deserved. But Catherine, if they have a different award, just Community Person of the Year, Volunteer of the Year, it sounds like we have our own little Saipan awards. Catherine would win. She's a vice president with Tan Holdings. But what she is much more than that. Aside from being a wife and a mother, she volunteers for everything. She's part of everything. And she doesn't just join as a name, like so she could put it on her resume or her LinkedIn or something. She's all in. She's committed for all these things that she does. She's a coach for soccer. She's a player for soccer. She's a manager for soccer, not just for that one team that she's on. I'm talking about for her kids' teams, for other teams in that club. She's also part of the FA, the Northern Marianas Football Association. That's a handful. Oh, what? There's more? Yes. Badminton, wrestling, weightlifting, sports her kids aren't even a part of. She supports them. And everyone familiar with her in those organizations will tell you that she kicks epic amounts of butt for everyone. When she gets in, she's dedicated. She's an active part of the chamber. She's part of our Armed Forces Committee, an active part of it. She makes great decisions, measured decisions. She brings sanity to some chaos sometimes for all kinds of organizations. You know who else she helps? Project Buddy Check 670. All the guys who got Project Buddy Check together will tell you that themselves. She's the reason I got to meet the guys from Project Buddy Check. True story. She called me in November of, or maybe it was October or November of 2024, leading up to Veterans Day, and asked if I could get these guys on the show to talk about this organization that they're doing, because she believes in it and that they could use it. And wow, just the amount of support that she has coordinated for our veterans has just been phenomenal. You know the Field of Heroes? Guess whose passion project that is? Kat Toves. Oh, yes, NM Tech. Yeah, you name it. She has been such an integral part of so many organizations, public and private. She is just... Eric says Kathy has a heart of gold. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, that is just it. If you know her, you know. I mean, you're probably a big part of a lot of organizations, or you're probably a part of some organization. I wouldn't be surprised if she's done something for it. And now they are just going through it. It's tough to see good things happen to bad things happen to good people. They're superstars in our community. We talk about Mark, you know, he's, I don't know if he's got promoted beyond captain, but last time I still have him saved in my phone as captain up there with the Ports. And hell of a baseball player, too. He's not a so-so player. He's not just filling the roster. So I have a link for it, and I want to put it in the comment section. I don't feel that you have to do anything, but this is just for you guys to just kind of consider it. Excuse me, if you would. And if you don't know them and you're not, that's okay. If you're the praying type, though, tell you what, that would be awesome. If you can give them a prayer, pray for their family, pray for the kids. Just when stuff like that happens. Here, I'm putting it in the comments right now. Praying for their for other people to support them, and for our community to come together for them. I did put that link in the comments for you guys, if you can get to it. You want to check it out. Yeah, Eric says, yeah, true. She's a big help and made a huge impact for Project Buddy Check 670 in the community. Thank you, Kathy, and prayers for strength and speedy recovery for Mark. Yeah. Yeah, I see. Munching Taminch is in the comments saying, good morning. Can I ask a question? Yeah, absolutely. That's what the comment stuff is there for. You can also always call. You can call the show as it's happening. 670-789-2323. That's what we do. This is the show for you guys, too. Hold on. Sorry, just a moment. Oh, we're going to share this story to about... Sorry, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at a link that Tint Man sent me. Man. This is such a terrible story. But I'm really glad that they really wrote this up. And the Guam PDN doing a story that is not an easy read. It's not an easy topic. Devastated an entire family in Guam. And as Tobat's brother was tragically and awfully, brutally murdered 5 years ago. Geez, you know, when I started doing this show from the spare bedroom of the house years ago, I remember you telling me about it. I just didn't realize it was just so recent. And the 5-year mark makes it even more sad to know that you're still going through this and that the perpetrator of this is going to end up getting he's going to escape the worst from the justice system in Guam because they're going for an insanity defense. Well, your brother deserves justice. Well, that's tough stuff, my friend. No, that is just it's just awful stuff. All right, I'll tell you what. I am going to take a little bit of a break here because we do have the news that is ready, the latest drop, and it's got to give us a little bit of a break before we get to our next thing. I'll be right back. This is going to be the news that we've got for you. So, folks, I just saw that it's back, so let's hit to it.
The FBI's released surveillance images from Nancy Guthrie's porch in Arizona. Ed Donahue reports it shows
the night the 84-year-old mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie went missing more than a week ago. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump has been following the search.
His initial reaction, of course, as all Americans, is just pure disgust. And again, it's heartbreaking to see now this footage really bring to life a story we've all been reading about.
The video shows the person wearing a backpack and a ski mask with holes for the eyes and mouth walking up to the door of the home. The person is seen trying to cover a doorbell camera near the front door with a gloved hand and part of a plant they ripped from the yard. The Guthrie family has intensified calls for assistance from the public. A former FBI agent says this will get the phone ringing for lots of potential leads. I'm Ed Donahue.
But let me send a message to anyone who thinks they can intimidate us. You will fail. Despite these perils, our officers continue to execute their mission with unwavering resolve, and we are only getting started.
Congressman Dan Goldman of New York.
People are simply making valid observations about your tactics, which are un-American and outright fascist. So I have a simple suggestion. If you don't want to be called a fascist regime or secret police, then stop acting like one.
Shoppers paused spending in December to close out the holiday season. The Commerce Department report, delayed by a government shutdown, surprised economists who were looking for growth. That helped send stocks to a mixed finish after flirting with records. The Dow rose 52 points, but the S&P and the Nasdaq fell. The S&P down 0.3%, the Nasdaq 0.6%. This is AP News. Julie Walker has the story of an emergency landing on a busy road about 50 miles northeast of Atlanta yesterday.
Pilot Thomas Rogers was
There's
flying
more
a
news
single-engine
at
plane over
apnews.com.
Gainesville,
I'm Ben
Georgia Monday
Thomas.
when
Thanks
something
for
went
listening.
terribly wrong and sent this distress message.
More stories and the latest
That
developments.
recording from
There are more stories
liveatc.net.
in
He
the-
then tells the tower,
This is Bonanza 229, Tango. We're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her, and my parents. I love them so much.
Rogers was able to walk away after an emergency landing. The FAA says the Hawker Beechcraft Bonanza made that emergency landing on a busy road around noon after Rogers had engine issues. Police say the plane struck 3 cars, dislodging a fuel tank into one of them. 2 people were taken to a hospital with minor injuries. I'm Julie Walker.
There are more stories and the latest developments at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Brad brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, those kind of weird. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. Laughter and stories, come what may.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It is 8:27 in the morning, and that was the latest news that you ended up getting from the Associated Press. We've got some stuff that's up there. Yeah, no kidding. Crime Stoppers, they want our tip. They do want your tip over at Crime Stoppers. By the way, Crime Stoppers are willing to pay you up to $1,000 for information leading to arrest of some of these bad guys out there in Saipan. These Sakis are out there. They are out there. They're taking whatever you got. I'm not kidding. They're trying to take copper wire. They're going to try and take your beetle nut. They are taking spare tires and rims. They're taking everything. Well, what we need to do is take them off the streets, and you could be the person to do that when you give them a call about whatever you know that leads to arrest. They don't want your name, they don't want your number, but they do want to give you some money if your information takes some of these bad guys off the street. Remember, their number is 670-234-7272. Crime Stoppers. I'm telling you, they are great. You can check them out, crimestoppers.net, and you can get all the info. You can give the tips right there and everything. And it works. All right. Hey, Munching, you were talking about something right before we went to the news. You're like, hey, you got a question? It says it's regarding an employee that's been let go by an employer because the employer said they can't provide the salary anymore. So I'm not sure what's the question. If you're asking if that's okay, if they're allowed to do that, is that the question? I know there'll be a little bit of a delay between when we're just asking it now and when you get back. But if you're asking, is that something that's okay? I mean, yeah. I mean, I know it's sad when something like that has to happen, but it's a tough conversation I can imagine having with somebody who's been working for you for however long. and having that chat and say, man, I'm sorry, I just can't afford to keep you on. Like I can see that being a conversation that probably a bunch of employers have had here in Saipan. And it is a sad thing. In fact, one of the people that we're friends with is out there trying to get a job right now and having a hard time getting callbacks and having a hard time, getting on for anything. When it comes to the market right now, it is not a really, like if it was a farmland, it is not a fertile field of jobs out there, as a lot of companies right now just trying to find a way to stay afloat. And that's why the news from Hanmi is really distressing, because, we got this press release from them last night talking about this impending doom from with regards to the flights coming from Seoul and coming from Korea, all points in Korea. And in fact, we've got it right here on AnimyNewsService.com, the sweetest smelling website in the Marianas. But this is it, and this is the story. It says, Hanmi warns Korea Saipan flights may be suspended after March 28th. And Hanmi is calling for federal help to protect tourism. They are going all in on trying to get the feds to help a brother out here, because this is really tough stuff, especially if they're talking about losing EVS TAP. Now, the thing is about EVS TAP is that, that is like the kind of negotiated in between, because we used to be completely in charge of our own immigration out here, right? Which is not the case anymore, ever since the federal takeover. And so we're like, well, hey, can you give us a competitive advantage? Excuse me. Over other points in the United States. They're like, well, if you loosen this up a little bit, don't make it quite as difficult to get in. It's still not easy, but it's there. So they said, well, there's those 3 senators who are saying, hey, you got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that Guam CNMI visa waiver program. And Hanmi is like, if you do that, we're doomed. They're saying right here, it said they're deeply concerned about the potential suspension of Korea Saipan air service beginning March 29th. That's like a month and a half away from now. Warning the CNMI could lose its last direct air links to South Korea. Could you imagine what would happen to the CNMI now if we stopped getting flights from Korea? Like, Anyase, no, that would be terrible. MVA already talked about this stuff, about like some of these reasons. We've heard about it from the chamber as well. The U.S. dollar is just killing it in the market. Really, Dow Jones is going up, hit 50,000 points for the first time ever. But we've got less flights coming in, and there's less planes because of the maintenance requirements and crash a few years ago. Then there's the merger between Korean Air and Asiana. And there's other places people can go, like Japan and Vietnam, especially in the summertime, right? I mean, we're summertime all year round, but when those guys come online, when it starts warming up, we're tough. So Hanmi is asking for more. They're asking for some help, because if we lose our Korean flights, again, we're sunk. Think about all of the hotels, all of this revenue for MVA, that revenue for our that fuel. And if the hotels close, you're like, oh well, at least it's not my company. Your company's going to get affected. Think about it. Think about like how all that trickle down stuff happens. Well, where do you want to begin? You want to talk about the fuel they need, because those planes, when they land here, they refuel. That helps the economy. That helps CPA. All the money that comes in from CPA when all those people walk off the plane. You got your arrival fees for the plane. You got your per passenger fee. And the fuel that they need. LSG needs the food. They make the food. The Sky Chefs to pay for the flights that are going out. Based on the orders that they get from those planes, and the drinks, all the stuff that they buy from all that stuff that pays for all of that. You've got your water and wastewater services performed by them as well. They've got an incinerator for all that garbage. They pay for all that stuff when they get in, right? Plus, they pay for rent for their space at the airport, for everything. And that's just the airline. Then you've got your, let's just talk about all the taxis and all the transportation, all the tourism, like all the tour agents and all that stuff. Yeah, but my business isn't tourism related. Yeah, it is. Guaranteed it is. You will be impacted by this kind of stuff in case you don't know it, because all those dollars that we just talked about are taxed. But there's more. All those people who are working there at the airport, they got to pay taxes on their payroll. All those companies got to pay taxes for the money that they bring in. All that stuff. This is just that business. But there's more. The rental cars that are there. Those tourists end up buying gas. They end up paying for those rental cars. They stay somewhere, so they got to stay at the hotel. The hotels, they pay a hotel occupancy tax. The HOT, as they call it. Yes, and there's, of course, a lot more than just that. Think about Sky Chefs. So we talked about they need to get the meals for the planes, right? They got to buy the food from somewhere. They're not just rolling into Joten to pick up like a box of ribs. No, they are getting stuff from these wholesalers, and then they prepare the food and everything from there. And they're keeping our wholesalers in business, like that. All of them, all those different wholesalers that you go out here that our local stores buy from, are buying from them. And they're able to buy it at a lower price because those guys buy so much because they know they got to pay for all that stuff. You know what else? Then that's the hotels, right? The hotels, they're not buying all this stuff from all these, they're not out there sourcing the cheapest things in other countries for food. No, they're buying it from the wholesalers who do that. So they are taking care of all of that and taking care of all those businesses. So all those other side businesses, that's just for LSG. We're not even talking, and the hotels. So that's feeding into everything. And then those hotels, all the employees that they got, all of the payroll taxes that they have, all the different services they have, the meals that and there's taxes on everything. This is massive. Massive. We even talked about the regular local restaurants. Talk about the local jobs. That's it. You end up losing these flights. That's why the economy is crazy if you end up losing the flights and the tourism and all that stuff. But also, this is one of the reasons why we keep talking about this, about local government agencies reeling in their costs and taking this kind of stuff seriously. Especially with things that we can control, because we can't control what decisions are ultimately made at the federal level. One of the things we can do is control it locally. Because I'll tell you what, this thing drops off, we're going to have some real deal decisions. And we just had this conversation at the governor's office a few months ago. And they said, hey, that whole house on fire thing, said, this is serious this time. All right. But you know what happened after that? Bupkis. They did nothing to change their spending habits. Nothing. The only thing they did was make you, as a government employee, get paid less and work less. That was the whole solution. Not, we're going to spend less on gas. Not, we're not going to drive these cars anymore. Nothing changed. Well, if something like this happens, there will be no choice but to do that. And if they decide that they're going to take you down to like 50 hours a pay period, I mean, that's like without actually doing any cost-cutting measures outside of that. They're just going for the easy stuff. So either way, that's what this is all about. I like how they said, well, we're not going to assign blame. It's not any particular company who's making a mistake or anything like that. Well, I mean, you know what's going on. And this is really about the push to try to help keep our competitive advantage going. It's a tough one. Good morning, Ann. Thanks for coming. Great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, one of the other things is our people are telling us why people aren't coming here. I don't think they're telling you the whole story. This is not conspiracy style theory stuff. The real story is, I want to talk about it, but I want to finish this story first. Is what our offering really is, and taking a good hard look at ourselves in the mirror. And this is not talking smack about where we live, not at all. But it's about really appreciating what it is that we have. We have such an amazing place. People aren't coming here for handbags. People are coming here for culture. We have an amazing place. The people are great. The food is amazing, but the culture is so rich. I'll tell you, nothing is quite like seeing these canoes on the water, seeing the silhouette of a proa against the skyline of the setting sun. Or, it's amazing. Meeting people on the beaches and meeting people, genuine conversations, being able to go to the beaches anytime, that they don't close at 5 o'clock or something like that. Saipan's a special place. That's what the focus has to be. But you can't tell me that giving subsidies to the airlines is going to be the thing that saves us. If you're not willing to walk the streets of Garapan with wide open, objective eyes to assess what we've got going on, then you're never going to see the reality of what we've got. When you've got garbage in the streets, and it's not just there for one day. When you've got garbage in the streets, you've got drunken, stoned out bums stumbling around, not at night, also at night, but during the day. People with mental issues walking through the streets repeatedly, accosting tourists, or just being frightening looking because they're walking with literally their ass hanging out. It's not figuratively. That's not a fashion comment. I'm talking cheeks, baby. Walking down the street. That's why people don't want to come back. Nobody wants to come here with their family and have the crap scared out of them and their kids when you've got some of these bums stumbling their way down these great new sidewalks that we have. That's not saying Saipan's a bad place. Saipan's freaking awesome. But we got to look at that stuff, and we got to really pay attention to what that stuff is. That's why people don't come back. I mean, it's one of the reasons. Do we need attractions? Yeah. Do we need to spruce up some of our tourist offerings? Absolutely. Can we make some things look a little cleaner, more friendly? Yes, all of that stuff is true. Like what they're doing with the marathon, great opportunity. By starting and finishing that race on the Paseo, freaking awesome. That place could be amazing. For a finish line, they're talking about bringing all these cultural groups all over the place, putting them on the course, the music bouncing off the buildings, amazing, pre-dawn kind of stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But if you've got your regular dude, or dudes, plural. Yeah, thanks, Chris. If you got your regular dudes out there hitting people up or coming at them, or they still got the bottles on the street from the night before, truthfully, it's not the night before, it's the weeks before. And there's nobody assigned to do it. I'll tell you what, all that stuff sounds not great. I will say, though, that there's been some good stuff that happened recently when a whole bunch of representatives teamed up together to clean up Garapan. cut some of that grass, fish out some of that trash. And he did a good job. Whose job is it? Whose job is it? That's the problem. Like they talked about how great of a job they did cleaning up DFS. Thank you. Great job. DFS moved out. Who's responsible for that? That's not public property anymore. That's private land. The property owner should be keeping that place clean. That's the truth. You got paid millions for it. And maybe still, unless they broke their lease, and they're out. But that's your place now. You got to clean that. Taxpayer dollars are not supposed to clean what's on your private land. Brad, what, you think you know better? No, dude, I don't. But I can tell you it's not fair for other people to clean your place. It shouldn't happen. It's your responsibility. Yeah, but the other tenant's the one. No, it doesn't matter. It's your place. That is your place. That's why zoning's so important. Oh, I got a phone call coming in. Yeah, sorry, partner. You got to call me later. Can't call me during the show. It's from the school, too. I hope not. It's not one of my kids being sick. Well, I'll find out soon. The DFS is such a prominent place down there, that it's got to be kept. It's not on public land. It's not a DPL function. That is family land. Family's got to take care of that place. And I'm not just putting a focus on that one, but that is just one that we're mentioning now. But that was the big thing. In fact, the cool thing is that over the weekend, people were talking about how nice DFS looked now because somebody finally cleaned it. Why is that your representatives teaming up, spending taxpayer dollars to clean somebody's private land? I'm telling you, it's the truth. It sounds harsh, but that is the truth. That's it. They're responsible for it. Now, how about all this stuff in the right of way? Well, here's the thing. All of these nice paseo spots now, or not paseo, but I should say all these nice super wide sidewalks all over the place. They made a big deal in the Garapan revitalization project to take all the land within the right of way and develop it. And they did an outstanding job. It's great. Now, the people who own or are responsible for that right of way need to take care of it. There's not a single garbage can out there. The whole street is a garbage can. You think I'm kidding? It's because you haven't walked around. Driving around Garapan, you might not see it because you might be going too fast. When you're driving around Garapan, you'll see those bottles in the streets. You'll see those cans in the streets. And they're not just limited to one spot. You'll see them stacked on that pad mount transformer that's over there by the old smoke shop. And they don't just stay there for a day. I bet if you set a bottle down today, it's going to still be there next week because there's nobody there to clean it. We've asked the mayor's office, we've asked Public Works, we've asked the Gisea, we've asked the tourism committee for Gisea, we've asked all these people who's responsible. Everyone's got another answer that isn't them. If you're really forming a task force for tourism, you got to start here. You can't, work on the things you can control. We can control cleanliness, tell you that. We can control cleanliness on our streets in Garapan. And this is not doom and gloom stuff. Yeah, it's not like, oh, Saipan's terrible. No, Saipan's so awesome, man. The place where we live is amazing. Little things. I remember when I first got here, there was a bigger issue with all the trash and stuff like that. I don't think we even had trash cans at the beaches and all that stuff, but now we do. And the team goes out there and cleans that stuff up regularly. Are there some people who go a little OBA. Maybe you get some strays, dogs that go out there and tear up some of those garbage bags. Yeah, and you can't control it. Like, that happens, right? I understand that. People who are doing what they think they're supposed to do, and some dogs get in and rip it up, and it looks worse. Yeah, some people just leave crap out there, and then, yeah, they're the bad guys. Now that we have this in Garapan, I think it's time that we install some of those trash cans. I'm not talking about those 55-gallon oil barrels. You put those cans out there, like the permanent structure with the can liners, which is the fancy word for trash bags, and then have somebody roll through once a day and pick that up. Well, people are going to put their household trash. Well, they shouldn't. But right now, people are putting everything in the streets, and it looks not good. Another thing is, if it's financially, if it's not sustainable for us to be able to take care of the Jurassic Park that's on every street side now, I'm telling you, when it's groomed and kept, it looks awesome. Those plants that are along the roadway and everything look amazing. Like, the artist's conception was great, but all that stray grass laying around in there, then it gets crazy. It's hard to see. It becomes unsafe, but also unsightly. You know, that stuff, we should rethink how that is. I don't want to go all Lorax and put plastic stuff out there, right? Hey, and this is no knock on OPD at all. Those guys were great. They got that thing done. It looks amazing. Garapan looks a lot better. And it's safer to walk on those streets and all that stuff. But that's it. Let's work on the things that we can control. It gives us a way better head start on that tourism thing. And by the way, these are not mutually exclusive things. We could do this at the same time while we pursue those other methods about tourism and ticket prices and all that other stuff. We just can't ignore the pressing part. You know, we're not even talking about crumbling tourist sites and all that other stuff. Again, that's part of it. But like, in the place where people are going to walk around and do all this other stuff. The other one is bring street market back to Garapan. Put it back down there. You know, it was amazing. The power outlets are still down there. I don't know why they ever left. Street market in Garapan on the street is so much better than fishing base. There's no question about it. The shop owners should love it too, because it'll bring more foot traffic over there. I mean, what's the purpose of having foot traffic at fishing base? Zero. You gotta think about it. The bigger thing is, why do we do this stuff, right? We do it for a reason. Because street market's cool. Economic activity. Yes, all that stuff is true. But you want to create something that looks really cool to bring people down to our commerce hub. And in fact, speaking of the CEO, they just had their board meeting yesterday. A new organization still going through some growing pains, figuring out all the stuff. And they're going to be a great tool for the Commonwealth to get us out of all this funk. But you want to bring people into that kind of stuff. You bring that street market in and bring it close to the folks that we actually have over here, right? Why is everyone going all the way down the fishing base when there's no tourists over there? There's nobody over there. It doesn't look great. Keep it in that hub. We need to come up with something over here, and having that there is great. All your resources are there. Plus, you know you're going to get some help from those at least 2 hotels, the main ones that are right down there. Our anchors, Marianas Beach Resort and Crown Plaza. They're going to support something that's going to happen right there. Yeah, but I know they want to have people buy stuff in their hotel, but people want to come and do all that stuff at the hotel, but they also want to do something cool. And if they know something cool is happening on Thursday nights, downtown Garapan, where there's great sidewalks, you can walk right down the middle of the street just for those street markets. I'm telling you, it's hopping. It is. It's great. I don't know if you have been traveling. I've been blessed with the ability to do it a few times. And when I go to these other destinations and it's a special thing, they close off the street just for this night so we could do this stuff. It's cool. I've done it in Guam. It's awesome. When they close the Paseo and I have all those vendors out there, oh man, it's awesome. I'm telling you, like in Guam, when they do it, it felt like I was in like Disney World or some major theme park. Because first of all, their downtown is pretty cool. We are not Guam. We don't need to be that. But with what we got, this would be pretty awesome. So we start with those things that we could control. And we'll be baller. But we got to focus on those things. Keeping that place clean. Someone needs to step up. Someone needs to assign it. And I think if it's happening and it's on the right of way, and the right of way, everyone seems to have no problem bush cutting the right of way along the main roads. Okay. We already know whose responsibility it is then. They pick up the trash and they do that. We need them to do that in Garapan. We need one of our elected officials to step up and make that happen. Or the secretary of so-and-so and make that happen. And you don't have to look very far. All you have to do is take a look at who's bush cutting on the right-of-ways. Now you know who's in charge of the right-of-ways. Same people who are in charge of the right-of-ways in Garapan, they should be doing it. They just won't be doing it with bush cutters. They're going to go through there with plastic bags and trailers, picking up all that stuff. Yeah, Scott, it is. That street market is so much better on the street. And it brings, again, economic activity. It brings tourists out into Garapan. And not just the people who are going to say, hey, you want a massage? Right? All right. All that is to say, you can't ignore a massive part of what's going on. It's not saying it's one thing or the other, that you can only work on one effort. You can work on multiple. So who wants to be our garbage czar? Sounds to me like it's our guys doing all the bush cutting on the side of the roads. It's an easy one. Seems like DPW to me. Seems like that's who's supposed to do it. Just checking this out. Some of your comments over here. June says, interesting. I think making effort starts with the community. No, we talk about tourists coming back, but we have to be realistic. People are not going to come back if we can't offer something special. What is special? Our people in combination with the environment. So that means as a people, we need to take care of the trash, the strays, the welcoming attitude. Let's make this destination special. June. Man, you're right. That's it. Mike over there on YouTube saying, also, what's the deal with the blight law? So much Chinese and other renters not cleaning up their part. It's disgusting to look at in Garapan these days. Leaders, wake up. I left about the fish part in there. But yeah, it's the small things. It's the things that we can control. We can control this part. This part's an easy fix, right? It's just that, again, I don't even blame them. I don't blame anybody because you get into a habit of what the regular stuff is, right? Like this awesome sidewalk thoroughfare that we've got in Garapan we didn't have before. And so the guy who's in there now inherits this stuff, and there wasn't a playbook that says you got to do this stuff. He's dealing with all these other roads and infrastructure projects and all this other stuff. It's easy to overlook a project that you've never had before because nobody's really said, hey, let's get this done. Well, there you go. So somebody's just got to do it first. And I'll tell you what, like, you can make it fun. And you can make it a fun thing if you want to get volunteers involved. They used to have the Paseo de Marianas Association when they had that whole thing paved off, which I'm glad it's not anymore. But going through and picking that stuff up, and also the people who are out there, if you're just throwing your bottles in the grass, dude, you're that guy? I'm telling you, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. And I'll tell you, Scott's in there. Try walking out of Godfather's with a drink in your hand. Hopefully you'll still have your hand, because Scott Totino turns into one of the Avengers and flies out there. He's like, get in here. You can't have that stuff outside. He doesn't go halfway on that stuff. But that's not even right next door, there are people roaming. You need more Scots down in Garapan to make sure that people don't do that stuff, because that's where it all comes from. Have your friendly, everyday law enforcement guys walking around and doing all this stuff up. I don't know. I'm a big fan of police presence, but like a nice social police presence. Have those guys have fun while they're out there on the street. I know that's going to be, hey, but we don't have budget. I know. We should. All right. Well, I think that's we've pretty much exhausted that thing. But it's a big thing. We start with that. Somebody's got to get down there and really take ownership of that. Guaranteed. Go down there today. Go down right now. It is almost like one of those prove me wrong things. Guaranteed. The bums on the corners leaving their stuff. And it's not just in that Garapan core. You start walking down the street where DFS was and go all the way down to like JG Salon. You see those bums hanging out on the corner, drinking beer, looking menacing for tourists. Yeah, you're not supposed to be drinking and hanging out on the corner, looking all sketchy. I mean, there's no rule saying you can't look sketchy. But you can't be all like, got $1? You can't be that guy. All right. Well, 1 second. Yep, fun fact. So it was the school. They just sent me a message that they were sorry to call because they knew it was during the show. But I have a sick child again. What is going on? We got to get this squared away. All right, well, I've got family stuff to take care of, and that's about the end of the show for today, so that's great. We will be back again tomorrow for Thursday, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on right now. And I want to tell you that this is the 75th anniversary of the Santa Lourdes Shrine. Their village, they've got fiestas going on and everything, but the Santa Lourdes Novena, they start at 5 o'clock every night. The ending is going to be this Saturday at 2 p.m., and that's going to be a really big thing. I know the folks who have been working really hard on it have been trying to get the word out, and they would really love to have a lot of people come out this Saturday to Santa Lourdes. We're going to head down there this week to talk to them about it. We're going to see if we can't get down there tonight, because tomorrow I got VFW stuff, so I'm going to see if I can't get down there and check it out and bring you a little bit more for tomorrow. But Saturday, Santa Lourdes, and it is really nice. I got a phone call from George Pelican, who was telling me about it, and it was just lovely. So I can't wait to get down there and check it out and see it. And if you haven't been down to Santa Lourdes in a while, this is your time to go and go check it out. And that, by the way, that's another great thing that we could be promoting for Saipan. All these cool things. All right, I've got all the answers, and I got them for free. I am the photo negative. I'm the digital Ambrose. That's it. For true. All right, say what you want. I still love that guy. All right, guys. That's what we got for you this morning. Let me see if I've got the a new hot off the presses for the Associated Press before we get out of here. And I'll see if there's a new sports update as well. It looks like we do have one. Let's see. Now, it's the same old, same old. Let me see if I do have a new... this one's about Lindsey Vonn. Did you guys hear about that, by the way? Lindsey Vonn. She had already jacked up her knee ligaments, and she went for it anyway. And she ended up breaking her leg. Yeah, it's a little bit old. It would be the 10th. All right, well, we can give you this one. All right, so here you go. This is a sports update, and then after that, we're going to get going. Oh, yes, and this weekend, no kidding. Thank you, June Mendiola. This weekend, Pika Fest on Tinian. You do not want to miss it. We'll tell you more about that tomorrow. We had the mayor on talking about it, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow, I promise. All right, you guys. All right, here's the latest sports that we got, and we'll go from there. Have a great day.
Fox Sports Update.
The Seahawks put on a defensive clinic in the Super Bowl. Seattle's defense dominated the Patriots, shutting out New England in the first 3 quarters of a 29-13 win.
It became very clear very early that they were a determined bunch, that we were going to play our style ball last night. And at that point, really, the plays became irrelevant. It was really the style of how the guys played. And
that was Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald speaking with the media the morning after hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. It was fitting that Seattle won due to their defense. The unit known as the Dark Side allowed the fewest points per game in the NFL. In other NFL news, after being arrested Saturday night, the attorney for Falcons rookie James Pierce Jr. says he maintains his innocence. Pierce faces 5 felony charges, including fleeing police after what authorities said was a domestic dispute with WNBA player Rakia Jackson. Pierce's attorney, Jacob Nunez, said in part,
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Quote, Mr. Pierce maintains his innocence and urges the public to understand that while allegations have the power to shape a narrative, that is hardly the full, complete story. Pierce is coming off a season where he set a Falcons rookie record with a team-leading 10.5 sacks. And the father of an Olympian is hoping his daughter's career has come to a close. After American skiing star Lindsey Vonn broke her leg in the downhill over the weekend, Vonn's father told the Associated Press that she will no longer race if he has any influence over her decision. Alan Kildo said in part, quote, She's 41 years old and this is the end of her career. There will be no more ski races for Lindsey Vonn as long as I have anything to say about it. Vonn chose to compete at the Milan Cortina Olympics despite tearing the ACL in her left knee right before the start of the games. In a post on Instagram, Vonn said she will require multiple surgeries to properly fix her leg. You can listen and follow the Fox Sports Podcast at foxsports.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Joe Morgan.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
Are you or someone you know living with a mental illness? Have you experienced abuse or neglect, denial of services, or discrimination because of a mental illness or disability? You have rights. NM Posse is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, and we're here for you. Individuals diagnosed with mental illness have human, civil, and legal rights under federal and local law. No one should be mistreated, denied services, or discriminated against because of a disability. NM Posse's PIME program provides protection and advocacy for individuals with mental illness and provides information about your rights, advocacy, and assistance for eligible individuals, and support in cases involving abuse, neglect, or discrimination. Services are confidential and provided at no cost to eligible individuals. To learn more, call NM Posse today at 670-235-7273 or 7274 or email gborja@nmposse.org. All right, folks. Well, it is a beautiful morning here in Saipan, and we are going to be on here. But hey, you've only got a few days left before Valentine's Day. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to make the right choice and enjoy it? Well, I hope you do. Love deserves a perfect setting. You can enjoy a Valentine's private dinner for 2 and enjoy a great harvest combo feast and strawberry smoothie. You can create unforgettable memories today by reserving your romantic evening by calling 235-7873. Great Harvest is amazing. Surf Rider is amazing. Surf Club is amazing. Well, you can be part of that amazing time as well. Give them a call, 235-7873, and have a special Valentine's with your special someone. All right, folks, that's it for us today here at Good Morning Marianas. We hope you have a great day here on Hump Day, and we hope that this is your best day so far. Take care. We'll see you again tomorrow, and hope that you're awesome. We don't help. We know you are awesome. Take care. Have a great one.